Welcome back. We're on part 9 of episode 84, and it's time to talk about Chris Jericho against the returning CM Punk. And there's actually people that think that CM Punk isn't going to return. Does
I'm
anybody
one of them.
else?
I am one of them. Yes, me too.
Oh, you don't think so? He will?
I don't think we will be seeing CM Punk.
What do you
And
Or
if
think
we
will happen
do,
seeing
instead?
him wrestling.
yeah, if we see him, it's not going to be in this match. He might like come out during the match and make some kind of surprise appearance with interference or something. But I don't think we're going to see the scheduled match.
What do you think's going to happen instead then?
Up until Monday night, I thought Paul Heyman would bring out Curtis Axel, and which he still could do. Maybe Curtis Axel would do double duty. Someone else he could bring out, maybe as Lesnar. Yeah, I did say maybe he could bring out Lesnar, just come out and beat him up, or maybe like Paul Heyman just comes out and says he couldn't get Punk. I don't know how. I honestly have no idea how they're going to work this out. But my feeling is that we are not going to see Punk there.
What about Brad Maddox? Are they still tempting stuff between him and Heyman?
Who knows? Now, going against what I said earlier, one thing that I have seen poking around on the sheets is that Chris Jericho may be turning heel on this night, which could be an excellent opportunity to do it. I mean, there's no way Chris Jericho is going to be getting any cheers that night in Chicago. As much as Chris Jericho is beloved, he's in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago.
That's the fun thing. You know what could happen? We could see a double turn. We could see Punk come out, sort of like dress down Heyman a little bit about why did you book this match? I wasn't ready to return yet, yada, yada, yada. And then just have Jericho go on the attack and start beating down on Punk and then become like Paul Heyman's new client.
I don't think we're getting that.
Could see it.
If you pay attention to subtle language a couple weeks ago when this match was actually made, they did say that Chris Jericho is an ex-Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, that's what I was going on. And the fact that they're hinting about him turning heel, it would be an extremely sort of negative. It would give him a negative reaction, get the heat on Paul Heyman for doing it, for turning on Punk. And also could set up in the future Punk versus Lesnar, which is, I believe that's what they want to do. It could really help and have Punk versus Heyman, and his entourage, so to speak.
I'm going to go with the Lesnar theory that Lesnar comes in and puts Jericho on the shelf for the reason that I read recently that Jericho has summer dates for Fozzy that he is going to be a part of. So I could see a situation where they need to write him off TV. So instead of having Punk come in, they have Lesnar come in and just destroy Jericho to get him off TV so he can go do his summer tour.
See, I'm kind of thinking the Jericho and Punk switch is a little bit too obvious. Kind of like what Peyton was saying with the whole Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton thing. I think that that's too obvious. And I think that what we're going to see instead is we're going to have the match between Jericho and Punk. And Punk is going to lose. And this is going to be the start of Punk turning face. But he's not going to actually turn face on this pay-per-view. I think he's going to turn maybe right before SummerSlam, maybe at Money in the Bank even. But this is going to be a situation where he loses, and it's kind of like I guess you could kind of say like he loses his ego. It's kind of like humbling him. He lost to The Undertaker. He lost the championship. Now he's basically going to kind of lose the best in the world moniker. And that response that he gets at Chicago, they're going to build that into the storyline and be like, I kind of miss the fans and stuff like that. Paul Heyman will get frustrated with CM Punk having lost, and that's going to bring in the Brock Lesnar thing. I think that we're going to get Punk and Lesnar at SummerSlam, but we're not going to get it happening right here. Now, if Lesnar pops up and faces Jericho, I can kind of see that.
CM Punk, I'm gonna make you humble.
Iron Sheik pops up.
Yeah,
I'd rather see that than
really
half the matches on this card.
The one thing that comes out of this pay-per-view, if they want a memorable moment, they could do anything they want by having Heyman screw over Punk in some form or fashion. I do hope if they go with the Jericho idea of turning Jericho heel, that would be awesome. If they have Punk directly no-show, I think people are just going to get really pissed off to the point where you could even see people walking out before the main event.
Card subject to change, man. That's what it's there for.
Card subject to change.
Hey, the way that
Most
the main
important
event,
words on any wrestling bill.
the main
No,
event
agreed.
looks bad enough that they might be doing themselves a favor.
Very true.
So, Jericho and Punk, we're gonna give last little predictions here. Who do you think's gonna win? And obviously, the other option is if somebody else comes in. Brandon.
I say if the match goes forward, absolutely CM Punk wins. Just because it's Chicago and they wouldn't turn down an opportunity to pop a crowd that heavy. So, yeah, I think Punk's going to win. That's if he even wrestles. I think he's going to be there. There's no question about that. He'll be there. I just don't think he's going to wrestle at this show. I mean, yeah, I just don't.
Now, if he doesn't wrestle, do you think somebody's replacing him?
No, I just think they won't have the match at all.
That would suck.
I mean, they've done stuff like that before. So.
Yeah, they have.
I think if they play the storyline, the story well enough, they can get away with having a different match in there. I'm going to stick by my Lesnar theory, but if they do end up having the matchup, I'm gonna go with Punk just because I don't see why Jericho needs to win this. There's no reason for it.
So you think that they're not gonna do the match, but if they do, Punk will win. You think what do you think they're gonna do instead, though?
Like I said, if they don't do the matchup, I could see a situation where Lesnar comes out and just demolishes Jericho to get him off TV because of his summer dates with Fozzy.
Brian?
I'm going to go with the double turn. I think that the double turn idea is probably going to be the most relevant, especially the fact that they've been hinting about the Jericho being a Paul Heyman guy and all his desperation to get Punk in the ring. So I want to see how this goes. And it could end up being something that we talk about post pay-per-view. So, it might give us something that we can sit there and say, well, this pay-per-view wasn't a total letdown because of X, Y, Z. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm sticking to those guns.
Peyton?
I'm actually going to be going the opposite of Brandon. I think if this match does happen to go forward as planned, I think CM Punk will lose. We will see Chris Jericho come out dominant on this. But if it is a substitution, whoever comes out, I believe, will defeat Jericho.
And I think Jericho's winning, and nobody's turning face or heel or anything like that. I think that this is going to be, as I've mentioned on the other parts, kind of filler. But the best match of the night. And
That's actually pretty surprising that we all have different viewpoints of this matchup. I can't think of the last time we've all been on such different wavelengths.
Probably because this is the only match that really
without it being like a multi-man match, I don't think we ever have. I mean, like the Elimination Chamber, we probably had different opinions on stuff, but that's the 6 guys in the match.
Yeah. Actually, even then, I think we only narrowed it down to like 2 people. All right, we're going to end this off with part 10, WWE Championship, 3 stages of Hell match.